Now, there's a pattern that I see with every fellow over 40 who can't seem to stick with getting in shape. They always quit around the week 3 point. So today I'm going to show you exactly why your healthy habits always fail at that point, but also how to push through this danger zone so your healthy habits actually stick. I have been coaching guys over 40 for 16 years. I have seen this pattern repeat itself hundreds of times. So let's talk about how to break through this pattern for good today. Hey, Chris here from Over 40 Freaking Awesome, where I help guys in their 40s and 50s to build habits that actually stick so you can get the body shape and energy that you want without constant restarts. But let's quickly look at the typical weekly flow whenever you start a new diet or workout routine. Week 1, you're motivated, you're in the zone, you're seeing a bit of progress. Yes, feeling good. Week 2 comes along, you're still going. Maybe you've lost a couple of pounds, maybe you're seeing some progress in the gym too. You're starting to feel like, hey, maybe this time it's a wee bit different. Then week 3 hits. Suddenly it all feels a bit harder. The novelty's worn off. You can no longer ignore all the home and work stuff that you've been blowing off in order to stick to your new plan either. So you miss a workout. Or you have a couple of bad eating days and then you think, I've messed it all up. Screw it. I've blown it again. Does that sound familiar to you? Because it's perfectly normal, and I find it annoying and not particularly empathetic whenever I hear this generic advice online to just stay motivated or be more disciplined or want it more, because that's ignoring the very human element here and missing the science of what's actually happening in your brain during this week 3. You see, your brain is wired to resist new patterns. For the first 2 weeks, you're really running on willpower and excitement anyway. You're not forming habits. But around week 3, your brain starts fighting back. It wants to return to your old comfortable habits. And the problem is, nobody warns us that this is completely normal. So when it happens, we think we're failing all over again and we berate ourselves for being crap. By the way, I have a complete system for pushing through this phase. I will tell you how to get that at the end of this, or check it out via the link in the description. But let's talk about habit formation. Did you know that the first 21 days aren't actually when habits are built anyway? They're actually when your brain is fighting hardest against change. Week 3 is what I call the resistance phase. Your brain is getting desperate. It's starting to play dirty. It's throwing everything at you. Stronger cravings, more fatigue, finding every excuse to quit. So this isn't weakness on your part when it happens at all. It is just neuroscience. But most guys think that something's wrong when week 3 hits. They think, this felt easier last week. Maybe this program isn't for me after all. But this resistance is actually proof that it's starting to take hold. Your brain only fights this hard when real change is starting to happen. So we need to learn to push back a little. So here's what I recommend you do when you hit week 3 of trying to build any habit. Lower the bar. Don't raise it. When it feels like the wheels are starting to fall off a wee bit, instead of you trying to be perfect, just aim for 60% effort. Aim for a B-. If you have some unplanned junk or a bigger meal than you intended, that's no problem. Just nail your next meal. If you skip a workout and you're losing your workout mojo a wee bit, just stay in the game. Aim to go for a 15-20 minute workout next time. Just keep turning up. The goal for week 3 isn't to make amazing progress. You're just trying to survive and stay in the game. You are training your brain to understand that you don't quit when things get hard. Every time you show up with 60% effort instead of quitting, you are building a kind of neural pathway that makes the habit stick. But most fellas try to push harder week 3, which just creates more resistance. So we need to work with our brains rather than against it in week 3. Now at our age, we've probably started and stopped dozens of health kicks. Each time we quit, it reinforces that neural pathway that says, I can't stick to things, or I'm probably going to fail at this again. The good news is breaking that pattern just takes getting past week 3 once. After your brain starts accepting the new habit as normal, the resistance starts to fade and it becomes easier. If you can just navigate week 3, you will be one of the few guys who manages to stick with these healthy habits and finally get back in shape instead of being one of the many, many fellows who keep going around in circles again and again and blaming themselves. I have coached hundreds of guys through this exact phase. The key for me is understanding that this week 3 resistance is perfectly normal and have a strategy in place. Just a couple of months ago, I remember coaching a client, Rob, who wanted to switch up the agreed workout routine in week 3 because he felt it didn't feel as good as it did for the first 2 weeks. And I knew this was just his brain trying to convince him to go back to his old program hopping ways. So I had him cut back to just 2 workouts that week, but to push himself a little harder on the last few reps of each set. And that's exactly what he did, and he was buzzing again. He found his rhythm, and we ramped up the workout frequency again in the next few weeks. Now Rob is stronger and fitter than he was in his 20s. Happy days. We got through week 3. Now listen, if you want my help navigating this phase and finally building habits that stick for good, I'm opening up my researched program. It's 10 weeks of one-to-one coaching where I will guide you through exactly this process. DM me on Instagram or email me directly. Both those links are in the description, and I'll send you all the details. Now the program starts next week. I'm only taking on 4 guys, so if you're tired of quitting in weeks 3 every time, reach out today. But take care of yourself, and I will talk to you soon.